Are you sick of seeing these transparent glass monstrosities continually pop up all over your server? Well, me too. So welcome, weary wanderer. It is time for another episode of Rate the Base. Now, maybe someone just bought the glass pack here and got a bit carried away. Other people are under the illusion that this actually looks good, and while I will allow them to be wrong, I think people genuinely believe that the only way to get a decent looking base these days is to own the glass pack. And today, I've got a couple of bases to review for you that prove that theme overcomes glass every time. Before we get to the reviews though, I thought I would just ride around a little bit and point out some design elements to give you some ideas for your own builds, because the answers are a lot simpler than you think. There's nothing special about this building in particular, but the central feature is awesome. You get a V shape running up here, achieved with a small sloping wall at the bottom, and then above it an inverted sloping wall. Just stack them on top of each other and get more inventive than our builder did here with the rest of the structure, and then you've got something quite unique. The entrance to this base looks absolutely bizarre. I can't decide if I love it or maybe they've just gone too far here, but the diagonals, they work more than just with windows. Definitely better when used as an entryway for internal spaces, I think, in this case. Upstairs on the rooftop here, we've got a separate bathroom with opposite sets of diagonals going on, one clearly functioning as the doorway and the other as a window, with the window side looking amazing due to the waterside view. This is yet another use for the sloping and inverted sloping walls, made even more impactful by the interior wall prints. I think this looks superb. Here's another base that ironically looks trash where the glass is concerned, but further up, well, let me show you. Alright, still from the inside, it's not much to write home about, but if you take the idea from before, use a normal size sloping wall, but combine it this time with a smaller inverted version, and if you stick another smaller one on the floor above, you'll get this. Again, beauty is in the eye of the beholder with this one, but you could easily bend this idea with your own interior design, and I think you could come up with something quite special. Finally, we've got an opening from a rooftop that deviates from the standard diagonal roof design to the cone roofing, which allowed this builder to use fan ceilings for the floor and bend the parapet around it. It creates a great opening for light to come in without needing that pesky glass pack. Up close and personal, I think the space in here has been utilised quite badly, but that's my own subjective opinion. Maybe the builder didn't want to draw attention to this as a viewpoint, and that's fair enough. Anyway, we've got the fan ceilings as mentioned before, with the curved parapets and more sloping walls with support beams to justify this little extension from the main build. Before I show you the base I'm about to review, I need to add a disclaimer in that after I recorded and edited it, I realised that this was in fact a copy of a tutorial on YouTube by a creator called Swampy, so I've linked the original in the description, but I thought I would leave this in anyway because I liked it so much. So in my search for a glassless dream house, I've also come across this property. It's on my own server as well, world number 4. It caught my eye because of these balconies here. Another solution to having to flex the glass is just creating outside spaces that just look quite dynamic. And also the shape of the building itself has also caught my eye. I think that's really interesting. Not so sure about the windows that far off the ground with the foundations, but let's take a look inside. I also think it's quite a cute touch not to use these fences to line your property and the planter boxes instead. They serve as like a border to the entrance. Got some stairs. This is the test. Can we walk up them? Well, yes you can. There was no jumping involved, even if it was a big massive stutter. Here we go. Absolutely blown away by the high ceilings. I'm not a big fan of high ceilings in general, but if it's done right, then it is done well. And the reason they're getting away with this straight off the bat is because of the features internally. As you can see there, these stacked shelves and a fireplace as well. That looks fantastic. I love that. How did they solve the chimney? They didn't. Well, that's solid wood. Add a chimney in the game, guys, will you? Come on, we need it. What a terrific use of space they've got here, dividing off the kitchen living area from our fireplace and couch relaxation zone. We've got these iron parapets, or the concrete curved parapets, sorry, and they look amazing. So this has been raised off the ground slightly. How did they do that? Yeah, it looks like they've used foundation and then they've put the premium wood solid fan ceiling on top. I'm not sure why they didn't just use a fan foundation, but still looks amazing. Moving over to the kitchen, we are starting to see so many more of these. Well done with the placement of the fridge freezer, not like right next to your stove. A little bit further over so you get some use of the workspace and more shelving units above. This looks terrific, even having some crates here as well. So many people are starting to catch on now. I think YouTube videos must have been made of this, but my Hive member was the first person I knew of that did it, where you can get a sink and actually plonk it inside, and there's usually like a gable or something in that, like a triangular gable. Yeah, it's in there, I can see it, and that allows you to firmly plant a sink onto your worktop. I think maybe it's a little cramped having to, you know, sort of shimmy through the fish tank up to these steps here, but I quite like it overall. Like raising the ground just makes it much more interesting in my opinion. And I'm also a fan of these curtains. I don't think I've got these, the white gauze curtains, where you've got some privacy but the light can still come in. And private study area. Oh, this cable management, man. Yeah, I mean, I know. Every time I moan about it, people say, just hide them. It does matter. I think it's still worth doing. I'm going to hide it now so I don't have to gaze at it. It's disgusting. Quite a cool move, putting the design station underneath the stairs, but it doesn't look like it's been jammed in out of the way for no reason. And that is because of this, the concrete wall. And how have they done that? Oh, just with a low column as well. So it is actually a feature. So it looked like a diagonal wall, but I'm just getting confused because of the steps moving up like that. Not much to complain about in this place so far. Okay, I take that back. What is that, man? I think that's to do with how flush you can get your bookcase against the wall and having to deal with the curtains. That doesn't look great at all, but you know, well, it is what it is. Up the stairs we go, and Deviant City on the next floor. Still some overlap issues with the curtains, but stacking them on top of each other. Again, to me, high ceilings are justified when your features are also kind of making sense of it. So windows much higher up, stacking your deviants on top of each other, indented walls. It looks great. I love this. Upstairs now, we're straight into the bedroom. I don't know how I feel about just coming right up the stairs and just hopping right into bed, but you know, it is what it is. No sign of glass anywhere, and this walkway is terrific. So we've got some of the crescent there, the crescent wood ceilings, and actually going in opposite directions. That is quite funky. I love that. I think some of the nuance that has been added here that just gives it a little bit more ooh la la is stuff like this. You get the small concrete walls and just giving yourself a little corner back onto the parapets again. I don't know. I think that it just adds a little extra. You just maybe don't see this every day, so it's cool. Don't know if we need this. Just eyesore of the fire pit right there. We've already got one inside, but you know what? Not going to complain. Excellent shaping of your parapets. Let me in, man. Let me out here. You kidding me? Yeah, you gotta get rid of that plant box, man. Where does this go? To the other side of the balcony. Okay, I think if I was going to make some changes here and you wanted access to this, I think I'd just make that a wide frame, a wide door frame, and off you go. Can't believe I missed this on my first walk round, and yes, this is the bathroom area, so wash handies there and in here for your bath, and privacy curtains needed here, quick close them! But I don't know what this is meant to be. This could be a changing area, or this could be fizz repping a toilet, and I'd like to believe it's the latter. But we do need one of these in the game, Dev. Our builder is here. I should speak to them. I like your house. Really good. Anyway, this is another great example of no need for glass when well-formed balconies, high ceilings, tasteful wall prints, and raising the foundations for the kitchen area, they add more impact than a hollow shopping mall ever could. Clearly a bit of money has been spent, but more time and care have been involved in the making of this lovely country house with nothing to flex other than a sense of good taste. May as well give this one a rating, so with little to pick at, it's an easy 9 out of 10. You know, Blackfell can be incredibly laggy, and some of the reasons for that horrific lag is when you walk in around the city, you are bombarded by vending machines. It's not a lot of fun to watch the frames drop and see things take forever to load in, and I think it's entirely unnecessary that this assault is even allowed. But something that is worth pointing out is that more considerate builders would allow you to exit Blackfell before giving you the vending machine option. And one person that made it onto the channel before actually created a giant boat outside, and for a joke I said it was the USS Vendor Prize because while it was a big boat, it just had a ton of vending machines inside. But the person who built that took my review literally and just reshaped their construction into a massive shopping center, and I think this is amazing. It looks amazing. They've actually used cable management to achieve that effect right there, and yeah, got the wall terminals, used all the cables and spelled the word vendor. Stroke of genius. I love it. Something else I love is having the garage pointing right out, so you just drive your Jeep right off there. Don't know if it'll survive or not, but who cares? 4x4, right? Big bouncy tires, why not? So let's take a look at the changes that have been made. Most notably, this building is made entirely without the glass pack. But also, I do like how the vending machines have been... How are you supposed to get to those ones up there? Don't ask stupid questions if the answer is going to be just as dumb. I do like... I think we'll go through the teleporter first and see where that takes us. Ta-da! The USS Vendor Prize. That is what it looked like before it was rebuilt into our vending machines. Ah, okay. Okay, that's how you get to these machines. Brilliant. What I really like about this is that each vending machine has actually been given its own booth. And I think that's massive in terms of the appeal here. If they were all just sticking out or flush against the wall, I don't think this would look half as good. But actually just putting a concrete wall all around it and a little ceiling, and even, I think it's even bothered to, yeah, he's bothered to put a print on the ceiling. Well done, you. Got some photos of what actually happens inside this banging place on a Friday night, it looks like. This is something I was looking at earlier, and I think maybe this is just getting copied across the server, maybe across the world, who knows. But I think these entrances are just a very good idea in general. More small wooden left sloping wall, and the small wooden inverted sloping walls as well just creates a lovely entry space into the... Oh, I'm so jealous of that bed. I don't have an American double bed, man. I really want one. A little bit crammed, if you don't mind me saying. Your sofa thing's getting in the way. Can't remember if I've mentioned this in a video before, but if you don't want to see these, you can always just put them behind a false wall or something like that. Actually putting parapets between each of your supply bench and work gear bench and everything, and your battle planner, it's just a nice little touch. More separation. I guess it just adds into the existing theme of splitting everything into booths. This is such a simple yet genius touch, is where you get floorboards that don't quite meet all the way along because of the stairs. You can't put a parapet here, so this iron parapet, you wouldn't be able to find a half-size one. And some people use like half-sized walls, but using the, you know, the beware sign, pretty good. Yes, this trend is definitely catching on. Another diagonal entrance here. We don't even need doors at this point, but again, we've replaced the glass, so it looks great to me. I gotta do it, guys. How does it feel? Ow! Oh, my sweet plums. We're gonna be okay. Just walk it off. Walk it off. Another small but seemingly insignificant feature is this post here, the concrete column serving as a divider between the two bookcases. I think these are well worth considering in your own designs. Personally, I would consider worktops for the kitchens, but then I'm getting a bit snobbish because I'm starting to see so many nice ones now. What is in here? This... Oh, yeah, this is vending machine repair. So this is where you empty all the coins out from all the energy link that you've collected from scamming people non-stop. Nice consideration with the generators, just in case too much methane blows in the way. You've got your extractor fans there. Even though we've got some open space as well, why not just double up and get the fumes out? I think this is quite cool. Actually, putting a table, a desk or whatever for your deviants to sit on so they can look out from their glass to more glass to a view. That's a bit obnoxious, isn't it? Putting a big massive street lamp inside, but since it's all open plan, we're going to let you get away with that. Why not? Now we come to one of the most amazing parts of this build. I was walking around here earlier and I could not believe what I was seeing. Well, we'll do the less interesting bit first, which is where you've got your bath here. I did ask the guy who built this what on earth this means, and he said that this is to shower you with holy water before you get in and have your bath. But I did rebuttal and say once you're in your bath, you're still getting showered with the holy water, but they didn't seem to think it was a bad idea. Anyway, I'm not sure what happens for enemies when they stick their feet on that pressure plate, but hey, Just as well, I'm a friend. More division here with the concrete right fan wall, and this allows you to get changed without other people seeing you from outside, just in case the doors are open. But my favorite part of this room is actually this, because we've got a sauna in here. What a fantastic idea. I don't know if other people have figured this out, but having the wooden walls on the inside, sticking the furnace over here, and getting the red lights that are normally used to make your deviants happy. It looks amazing. I wish there was a function so that we could sit down on these. So what is that? That is just a small wooden half wall as well. What a terrific idea that is. If you came up with that yourself, amazing. It's just a perpetual shame that they don't allow this floor to come completely clean. I understand if it's going to get dirty as it goes along, but come on, devs. Nobody wants a filthy, greasy, slippery floor like that, do they? Moving upstairs, we have another deviant viewpoint, and this is absolutely fantastic. So what you're looking at here, as we walk right through it, clearly an amazing hallway to behold. But I also think that these would serve as excellent kind of windows for the exterior of your property. And I'll just show you what they're made of. There's a slight trick to it. The wall print actually covers up the trick because you have the wooden right crescent wall here and a concrete inverted left wall there. And the two actually overlap. But because of this dual pattern, it just seems to... yeah, it blends perfectly. Okay, maybe it doesn't blend 100% perfectly, but it's good enough for me. Anyway, if you stick one of these on your outer wall, I think this could be just a lovely feature as well. Also, using multiple support beams and the wall vines combined with these parapets, making a large balcony, again, just supersedes the need for glass. Overall, I love the design of this place. It's just a pure sort of chill zone with a library and mini concert area, call it what you like. Amazing. Don't remember there being anything upstairs. Another deviant view zone. That is in fact the end of our vendor tour. It's hard to rate this as a standard base because when it was a boat, it was masquerading as something else, like a fun shape of... it didn't really pull it off. And it was trying to sell stuff to people, let's be honest. Now it is just a high-class shopping experience with terrific access, and the theme is an absolute banger. We still get a living area with the crazy bathroom and well-divided spaces, not to mention the genius spelling of the word vendor with the cables. I can't think of this like a home or a defensive structure for PvP or Starchrome resonant filter gathering. It's a one-stop shop, and it's going to be the first vendor base we've rated. If others come along, we'll do them, but I'm going to give this an 8.5 out of 10. That's going to do it for me. Take it easy. Catch you on the next one. Peace!